After images have always been strange to me. Something you've been looking at is more or less burnt into your vision for longer than normal, allowing you to see it, even after you close your eyes. What troubles me is not how it works, but the after images that keep appearing in my vision, along with other things I've been seeing. When I blink, there's always this robed figure standing there, sheet white against the blackness of the inside of my eyelids. I've never seen this person, or thing, ever in my life. In my desperation for clarity, I've described my affliction to my doctor, and anyone close to me who will listen, but no one really knows what's going on. One of my relatives, a devout Catholic, told me that it's probably my guardian angel showing up in my time of need, and for a second, I believed him. I had been going through a rough patch in my life. I'd lost my mother in a car accident not long before the after image appeared, and I thought that this angel was keeping me company and giving me the emotional strength to push on. I started seeing other things as well, glimpses of gruesome images that scared me most times. The most memorable one was when I was with my wife eating dinner at our favourite restaurant. I had ordered my usual bowl of spaghetti bolognese and she experimented, trying the salmon and salad, knowing that if she didn't like it, I would eat her meal for her. Our meals arrived and all was well, until I looked down at my food. Maggots filled the bowl and spilled over the side as they writhed around. The sauce, a much darker hue of red resembling blood. I recoiled and blinked and the image was gone, my meal having returned to the way it was meant to look like. My wife asked me what was wrong, and I sighed, looking up from my meal to reply to her with a casual, "Oh, nothing really." But I was only met with the visual image of a mangled face. Glass and metal embedded the inside of the flesh that was my wife's beautiful face. I retched and excused myself, trying to blink away the image, much like the last one, but the image persisted for longer, taking 4 or 5 blinks to finally disappear from my vision. It's horrible, seeing these things appear so vividly in my sight, almost as if they were real, tangible and physically present, but as many times as I tried to interact with what I saw, reaching out to touch a patch of blood on the wall, or straining to kick something away, my efforts were in vain. The blood was never on my finger, and whatever I tried to kick away would simply have my foot go through it. They're not real. I have to keep telling myself that, but every time I see something, my concentration is broken, and I keep reeling from what burns itself into my mind. However, despite all of this, I keep returning to the image of the angel that my eyes closed to. I keep seeing that shining white entity pierce the dark visions that I see, and I'm glad for it. But something changed recently. I started seeing the figure in my environments, near me. It has a physical presence too. Its robe will flutter in the wind, and it will have imprints of where it stood in the grass. The worst part is that I know what angel it is. As a cruel joke, it decided that it would interact with me, and even show me what was covered by the shadow of the hood. It chose its moment carefully, getting me when I was alone in my house. My wife was at work when it happened. It stood in front of the dining room table as I passed it like I had done so many times before. I noticed a note in front of it. The angle of the writing making me face the figure as I read the note aloud. The note read, "Look at my hood. Blink, and you'll miss it." I obliged, looking up at the figure's darkened face as it slowly raised its hands to its hood. With a flick of the wrist, The hood was quickly made to uncover the figure, before quickly once again covering it in darkness. I will always remember what I saw. The almost unrecognizable face of my mother. Blood caked on her mangled face, several parts punctured by sharp metal, with more parts being crushed or disfigured. I stood in shock as a light, rough chuckle emanated from the figure. I stumbled back, wanting to get as far away as I could from this thing, before something stopped me. A memory. I know something about how my mother died. The car accident? I caused it. I called her. She answered, and before I knew it, I heard squealing tires and a loud crash before her side of the call was disconnected. Her phone was almost instantly destroyed in the crash, so the police could not tell what caused her to veer off the road, down a ditch, hitting a tree just beforehand. She's tormenting me. That face is what replaces the white figure as an afterimage whenever I blink. We both know what caused this, and there's nothing I can do to change that. I should have blinked. Then I wouldn't be reminded. Whenever I do,